Start recording right away. Hey guys, it's 2:19 and this is our final call of the day. It's going to be a quick 20 minutes about how to get our teams booking. So this is definitely what's on everybody's mind, and we've kind of touched on it throughout our Zoom calls today a little bit here and there. But I would love to hear what you all are doing. I know Victoria and Erin have been doing this kind of like tag your it method of booking. And so I'm not really sure how that's going with them, but I think anything fun you can do to kind of reinforce booking trunk shows is a good thing. So basically what they're doing is they are playing a little game, and every time someone books a show, they have to tag somebody else to book a show. When that person books a show, then they have to tag somebody else to book a show. And the goal is to have the show be booked before you get tagged so that you can very quickly pass it on to the next person. So just little things like that could be really fun. I think simplicity is key. So I think rather than people booking anytime over the next 30 days, I would pick like 4 fun themes and then encourage your team to go book those dates. So National Margarita Day. I know we just passed National Wine Day, I think was last night. But I do feel like the simplest way to do it is to find like 4 dates and then maybe do a fun challenge with your team to book those 4 dates. I was talking to Heather, what's McClellan, I think is her last name, she's in Canada. She was saying earlier that they are doing like a little post-it challenge, so that like, and this is something you could do on a small scale with your team, that as soon as someone books a show, they get to pick a number. Like you might have like 20 post-its and they get to pick a number, and there's something fun underneath it. It might be something like a nail polish. It might be something like a Starbucks card, whatever it is, just something to reward the effort of booking a new show and then drawing from that show. So I think the key is, again, like Avril was mentioning earlier, we're talking about a lot of this time of year is about making noise. So even though you feel like your team might be sleeping, the ones who've been around for a while, the more you're kind of banging your cymbals together and talking about booking, then people will start to do it. You'll start to see your pipeline grow. It is like clockwork every time. The more you talk about it, the more that it will come. So what about you guys? What are you doing with your downlines right now to try to drive your trunk show pipeline?
I'm doing literally nothing. I led a booking blitz last night, but no one from my team really got on.
Okay, so what did you do for the blitz last night?
We really like focused around glam and Mexico and making it kind of fun with that, and reminding people that the trip is a year from this month. And like, hey, let's all be on the beaches in Mexico next February. Let's put in the action now to make it happen. And then giving people the words to say, and also tying in National Margarita Day, also with the Mexico theme, and using that as a hook to book in tight, but then walking people through how to, if it's a no, like get a date for March. I definitely do feel like it was super productive for the people who got on, and people asked a ton of questions. Liz and Michelle were both on. People asked a ton of questions. We did like a rev up call, talked a little bit through overcoming objections, like a very light training, and I think we walked through, like Sam walked through 2 examples of like, how do you respond to I'm too busy, or how do you respond to I don't know if my friends would want to come. And then we left the Zoom running. I definitely think we should do it again, or if we want to do it with our smaller teams, it was so worthwhile, because then we left the Zoom on and everybody just muted themselves and started doing their reach outs, and could either type a question in the comments, or they could like unmute and say like, okay, here's what she just said. I don't know what to say back. Help. And we're celebrating like all the action that people took. So people were sharing like, okay, I reached out to 10 people, or I just got to know, I just booked blah, blah, blah day. And so I thought that made it really fun. And, you know, it can suck when you're doing reach outs alone and like getting bogged down by no's or just hearing silence. So I think it's nice and helpful and a lot more fun to do it with people. So I do think that could be something to keep doing.
Do you think it's better to keep it team-wide, or something that if you guys with your smaller teams were offering like, hey, let's do this together, it's so much more fun when we can sit there and strategize and do our reach outs at the exact same time over a glass of wine. It'll make it, so fun. Or do you think like, if as a team, Southern Terms team, we should offer a once a week booking blitz, or do you think the more personal is better?
I know Amy and I, so Team Wine Charms, we were talking about doing, I really thought last night was very helpful. I love the idea of having that live, you're stuck, you got to know, you don't know how to move forward. I find that myself, if I get that obstacle, I'm like, I'm done. So I think it was nice to have to work through that and to keep going during that time. So we were talking about maybe doing like every other, bi-monthly or weekly, doing a booking blitz call working power hour in the Zoom. And I think for our team, like we're trying to wake them up. Well, my downline, trying to wake them up and doing that. So I think the smaller team would be my preference.
Okay.
Yeah, the power hour idea is such a great thing. I think we could totally capture, like, the best part of last night was the workshop part. Like you said, it was great to have the accountability and have the instant communication right then and there instead of waiting for someone to like get back to you. Like if I'm thinking if my downline's on there and they get a weird response or they get something like I'm too busy and they're like, oh, well, now I have to wait for Liz to text me back to see what she's going to say. You know what I mean? And instead of that, you have that instant communication with them. I've done both where I've invited my girls to do the Southern Charms team-wide booking blitz and I've done my own team. And the same people that are going to get on regardless of where it is. So you have your workers. But I think we could, if we're going to do like a weekly or a bi-weekly or bi-monthly or whatever, maybe just knowing the times ahead of time, because that one was great for me because I actually got a chance to hop on. But I know schedule-wise, it's hard to like blast that out to everyone day of, if that makes sense.
I really agree with you.
Do you feel like people know now that Tips from Top's 8:30? Do you feel like that's filtered down to your teams on a small level?
Again, the ones that care and that are going to get on the calls and that want to further the business that way, sure. But if we're talking about girls who are just interested in, like, they need to book one trunk show, something like that, what we did last night would be extremely helpful for them, but they're not going to be on Facebook looking for that opportunity. Do you know what I mean?
Okay. So when and how, what do y'all think?
I don't know. Still Zoom, probably.
Yeah, I like Zoom.
Okay.
I don't know. Time frame wise is so hard because you have so many different walks of life. But
yeah, we can also, you could talk about doing like a poll in your team to see which day works best, and then you can rotate. The first one of the month you do on Thursday, second one of the month you do the other day, so all your team members can feel like they can join. Amy and I had talked about skipping Monday and Tuesday because we feel like there's so many opportunities to join calls on Monday and Tuesdays already. So we talked about like a Thursday, but that was kind of, we had toyed around with it. We haven't like set anything in stone yet.
What about like a wind down Wednesday booking blitz? Like, you know, come with your wine and your jammies and we'll work together, like power hour type thing. I try to do power hours with someone on my team once a week in person, but I think setting up that camera and then having people be able to hop in and out if they want to like join you, I think would be really helpful.
I like the idea of wine and jammies.
I think it would be great, like, because I really also feel kind of like torn between, okay, like, is it better as like a bigger Southern Charms thing, or is there more buy-in when it's like our smaller team? And I wonder if it would work well to like, I mean, continue to leverage all of our leadership. And so, for example, Michelle, if like you and Amy are planning something for Team Wine Charms, like, yes, like really promote it to your team, but then like, could we still open that up to all of Southern Charms? And then like, okay, the second week, like we're doing something with Chain Gang with like me, Avril, and Jess, and we can open that up to all of Southern Charms, because I feel like then it's much more efficient for all of us to be able to leverage each other's talents and time, and so that we're not always having to take evenings out of the week. And then also, I do think that there's really a real benefit to our team members getting to hear from different leaders and also like to connect with other people on other teams. I don't know.
I love that idea. I kind of agree with the same thing, because whatever team is leading that week, they're going to probably do the most work to get their girls on there. So it still feels very personal. And your team also has access to all of you as well. And I mean, we could almost like just do the next couple of weeks if we did it on Wednesdays. we could just do it for the next month within this group, and we can advertise it on Southern Charms we want and let those other leaders come in, or we could make it a Maven-centered thing. Obviously, it'd be easier to just advertise on Southern Charms page, but maybe just within this group, we can kind of all take shifts of it. And like, we'll kind of keep it, you know, bigger teams so that it's not just like one person taking charge.
I really like that idea a lot, Kelly. I think that could be really helpful.
Yeah. Okay, good.
So we're thinking.
Jane kind of did it this week. Michelle, did you and Amy say you were thinking about doing one next week? Oh, I think she's off with a baby.
I'm chasing him in the kitchen. We hadn't nailed one down. She actually talked about Wednesdays too. I totally take this offline, but I don't work Wednesdays. It's my husband's only day off, so Wednesday's my day off.
Okay.
But she had talked about Wednesday.
Okay, perfect. All right, and I'll look at my schedule next week too. I could potentially do next Wednesday, if not. So, okay, I like this idea. So,
and I think the other key to it too, just adding this in, is like, even if it's not your week to be like officially leading it, if you don't have like something else to do, I do think it's really important for as many of us to participate as possible. Like, even though we're all working our business anyways, like sometimes you might kind of feel like, well, I don't really like need to do a blitz, but I do think it kind of looks bad if like your team gets on these things and like you're never on. It's like, it doesn't have that like same trickle down effect. And then that way we can also like support each other.
And y'all, I did it last night in bed with literally laying in bed. My lights were off and I was on my phone. So I just like was participating still in text and messaging from my Facebook thing, but I was planning on going to bed. But I was like, well, I could go to bed or I could listen in. I probably need the inspiration. And I ended up reaching out to like 20 people that I wasn't planning on doing. And I ended up booking a show that I wasn't planning on booking because I just said like, I can stay up for 30 more minutes. Like I can handle this. So.
I feel like it's just one of those things where it's like the best way to lead your team is like by example, and to literally be like, hey everybody, I'm getting on this blitz tonight. Who's gonna get on with me? Like, it's so much better than just like, oh, here's an opportunity to get on with like these other random people who you don't know yet. Even though we obviously know everyone on here is awesome, but I just feel like people would be more likely to join if you're saying that you're doing it too. I don't know. That's just my 2 cents from the peanut gallery.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, so I'll go ahead and just grab next week. Let's see if we can line up the next few weeks just while we've got everybody on versus me trying to like nail it down later. So anyone want to leave with me on the 27th?
I'll do it, Kelly, if you want. I was saying I'll take tomorrow, but I guess since we had one yesterday, we don't need one tomorrow too, or do you want to do one tomorrow too?
I don't know. You want to do tomorrow? I don't think it's a bad
I
thing.
feel like the more booking blitzes, the merrier at this time. Our pipeline is so scary.
Yeah, like, Liz, you want to do one tomorrow?
Yeah, I'll do tomorrow with you if you want.
Okay. Are we gonna?
I'll do tomorrow if you do next week.
Why don't you? Do you want to do tomorrow and I'll do next week?
Okay.
And then just get people on your team to get on and help.
Okay.
What time? What time are y'all thinking?
I mean, 8 seems to be good. Was it 8 or 8:30 last night?
I think it was 8:30.
And y'all are calling it Power Hour. Was 30 minutes enough?
It was an hour.
It was an hour last night?
Yeah.
Oh, what time did you start it? Oh, wait, you get up at 9:30 to do a meet, sell, and dot?
I muted and did the meet, sell, and dot, and then went back.
Okay, perfect. Okay.
So, but the first, like the information part was probably 15.
I mean, it was 10 or 15 minutes. It was quick.
Yeah, and then the rest of it was just having the Zoom open for people to work and do the actual reach outs.
Yeah, and
So
then in the last like 5 minutes, it was just, okay, everybody, like we're wrapping things up now. Everybody share in the comments like how many you reached out to and what your results are. Because then I like tallied it all up and said like, okay, there were 13 of us and we did 105 reach outs and got this many yeses, this many nos, and like planted all these seeds that we have to follow up with.
So we'll say 8:30 tomorrow.
8:30 to 9:30?
Yeah.
I think we could do them during lunchtime too if we ever wanted to.
You want to?
I think that's great. I like the idea for those of us that are home. Might be nice to have like daytime planning hours too.
I like
Maybe
that
we have
too.
to have an option like a power hour, like lunch block or nighttime block.
Yeah.
I don't mind doing both. Honestly, I need to do the reach outs anyway.
I like the
I
afternoon.
can get on with you tomorrow during lunchtime.
Okay. So do you want to do a noon and at 8:30? Yes, no, maybe?
Yes, I could be there tomorrow at noon.
Okay.
And
Kelly,
this
I
is
think
something
you
I can
did.
invite my little team to, Liz? This is something I would invite them to, right?
Oh, 1,000%. Yeah, that's the whole goal. We want the girls booking. Like, we want everyone to be able to like use this and feel like they're comfortable and I don't know, part of the team. I mean, the whole goal is to connect people with other stylists and know that when people are doing it together. The more the
So
merrier.
you guys will use the same link, or will we get a different link?
I'll use my Zoom link, but I'll send it out. I'll make a Mimi when we hang up here and send it to the Maven thread and then post it on Southern Charms too. Kelly, you're still muted.
Oh yeah, you can. Sorry, kids are home. Dogs are going. Dog just came in covered head to toe in mud. Yeah, I'll do an event probably on the Southern Charms page too, and then that way it'll be easy to find.
So we'll do 2 times then tomorrow, noon and 8:30. And then maybe we can keep that going every Wednesday. There's like 2 opportunities if you're a daytime person or a nighttime person.
Yeah, we'll just keep it among this group, like deleting them for the next few weeks, and then we'll kind of reassess from there and see if they are working. Like you said, it'll make us all sit down and do it ourselves too.
Cool.
And it's not just you're leading a call for 30 minutes and then you have to go do other things. Like, you're actually doing the actions during the call. That's what's the difference.
Yeah. So I feel like we could even just, I mean, again, if we don't want to get into like a whole really formal scheduling thing, but if people just want to kind of step up and be like, next week I'm going to be working during lunchtime, so why don't I just make it a blitz? And
exactly.
let us all know, and we can either like join you. It's literally that, okay, I'm going to be reaching out to people at this time. Why not share with my team what I'm doing and invite them to do it with me? And then like expanding that to our larger team.
Perfect.
I love that because I need people too. I need to be able to talk to people during the day. So
yeah.
All right. Anything else before we pop off, guys? It was fun working with you all today. I feel like the same thing was on all day. It was great.
We're booking.
All right. Sounds good. Well, I will, I've got to go do kid stuff for the next couple hours, but I'll try to get these uploaded soon. And yeah, I think just make a lot of noise with your teams, lots of banging cymbals together, get them on the blitzes, but keep it simple and reinforce lots of kudos this week for people who are booking, people who are sponsoring, people who are launching, people who are getting their product credit. Kudos, kudos, kudos. Sound good?
Yay.
All right. Everybody have a great day. See ya.
bye.